Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dice here, and I want to welcome you to this video, which is going to be the second part in the video series on burnout. So in the first video, we covered off on what burnout actually is in like great detail. We covered off on some of like the causes and the symptoms of burnout. And I kind of figured like if you haven't actually seen that video and you want to watch this series linearly, then click off this video and go watch that one first. But if you've already done that, well, in this video, we're going to be covering off on some of the physical things that you can do right now to start your upward spiral. Now, I would argue that you haven't actually achieved burnout until you've lost all sense of humor. You're in like a state of demanding towards other people. Your face, your neck, and your forehead are all really tense. You're having these random mood swings, and it just feels like you've been stressed out for so long that you can't even remember the last time that you actually smiled. Okay, so that's burnout. It usually takes anywhere between 2 and 6 months of like extreme stress for you to get to this point where everything just sort of collapses. Okay, so if you don't know me, I'm Dice. I help young, analytically and logically minded men that are just like you. I help you to discover your purpose so that you can live your life with clarity, meaning, and direction. If you like this sort of content, then do me a favor, hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Helps out the channel a great deal, more than you even know. All right, with that being said, let's get cracking in the video. First off, food, okay? Try and start to replenish your body with the food and the nutrients that it needs to start to recover, okay? So I know this is a simple one, but think about it for a moment. The last few months you've been eating out a lot. You haven't been you've been skipping meals. You've been not really sticking to your diet. You've been taking meals at the wrong times. And it's just been like you've been burning the candle at both ends, and your body has been in a state where it's jacked up so much, so it actually requires more nutrients. So you're at a point where like all your nutrients and all your any stores of stuff that are in your body are all depleted. Okay, so now is an opportunity for you to start eating those fatty foods again. You want to try and avoid foods, we've got it listed here, like potatoes and white rice and high GI foods, okay? And you also want to back off on the coffee, okay? You've been overusing coffee, like tired, pass out the night, wake up 7 hours later, underslept, smash the coffee and hit it all again, and then it's been like a cycle like this for months, and like you're losing hair over it, okay? It's literally aging you. It's actually been proven that if you have high GI foods, and that's actually leads to depression. They've proven that now, that actually people that eat those high GI foods are more likely to experience depression. So wean yourself off that. Now, this is going to sound a bit counterproductive, but start eating comfort foods, as long as it's not the ones that I talked about before. Start to get your brain back in the game by, getting some sort of pleasure again. And maybe even if that's utilizing food temporarily. Go and eat that stupid chocolate bar. Go get some ice cream. Go get some pizza. Okay, go get some foods like that you find pleasurable, and then you're like, fuck this, I'm just going to go and eat the food and I don't care. Okay, and try and use that to sort of comfort you, at least in the short term. Okay, so this is obviously not a good coping strategy for a long-term situation, because you're going to get fat and you're going to go down the fucking downward spiral. But in the short term, you're just trying to get some wins under your belt. You're just trying to feel some pleasure again, because you've just freaking been completely burnt out. So go and try and experience some food for a bit. And then once you've sort of done that for, maybe 2 weeks to a month, and you've sort of got yourself back together a little bit, then you can start to consider, okay, I'm going to hit the diet again. I'm going to start eating properly again. And I'll start to look after my body a lot more. But for that short period of time, I think it's completely fine for you to just go on a food binge to get your shit together, okay? So I do need to point out, this is not an excuse for you to start taking drugs and alcohol, okay? This is not an excuse to do that. This is a point for you to just have those sort of like comforting foods. And as you're eating those comforting foods, you're sort of thinking, okay, well, where did it all go wrong? And you're having those thoughts go through your head, maybe cry a little bit. And then that'll actually help you release that energy. You don't want to be utilizing drugs and alcohol and other means to actually numb the pain. This is the opportunity for you to experience like what actually happened and try and get over it, and to try and move on from it, okay? The next one I want to talk about is supplements, okay? I just spoke about it briefly, is like your body has been depleted from nutrients because you've been eating fast food for so long and you've been skipping meals and you've been under an extreme amount of stress. Okay, so you need to start to kickstart your brain neurochemistry and your body with the correct nutrition again. So the best way to go about this is through supplements. Okay, start taking B vitamins. Start taking vitamin D in the morning. Start taking CDP choline. Start taking alpha GPC. Start considering L-tyrosine. Also check with your doctor. Maybe L-theanine before you go to bed might actually be good. Also maybe under 500 milligrams of magnesium. Okay, particularly magnesium L-threonate, or I think it's glycinate. These core ones that I'm talking about here, and like those ones there will get you started. Another one that I left out is actually spirulina. Okay, start taking spirulina tablets, and consider another one is cordyceps militaris, like those medicinal mushrooms, maybe lion's mane. Also another one is reishi at nighttime to help you calm down. Okay, so utilizing these nootropics, these mushrooms, these vitamins and minerals at the right times are really going to help you get a sense of well-being again and really kickstart your brain neurochemistry. So do look into that. I'm not the best influencer for that because I'm helping you with mindset and to be able to help you crawl out of this pit that you're in. But there's other great influencers on YouTube. Just put in like a YouTube search, nootropics and minerals, and you'll be able to find something that fits for you. Okay, so the next one is clean your room. Okay, I've got some notes here that I got from Jordan Peterson. Love Jordan Peterson's work. So if you want to start to organize your psyche, start by organizing your room. Reduce the pain of inconvenience and chaos in your direct environment, and he calls it the field of being, so that you don't suffer unnecessarily. So look around, find something that you can fix, and see if you can actually fix it. Ask yourself a genuine question. If you can spend it, like if I was to spend 10 minutes to clean my room and to make this room better, what could I do? Okay, so maybe even pause this video and do that now. Another thing that Jordan Peterson doesn't actually say, that I actually talk about from personal experience, is when you actually start to see things improve physically in your direct environment, it helps you believe that you can actually fix yourself. Because up until this point, you might not have the confidence or the self-esteem to actually realize that you can actually fix yourself. So you look outside of yourself to actually start fixing things that are around you. So you're like, I'll pick up this bit of rubbish. I'll organize this. I'll clean this. And then after 10 minutes or so, you see that you start to get in a flow state of cleaning for one. And then if you actually did it for the whole day, you look around and your room's clean. So there's a self-esteem improvement. And also when you actually see that other things around you are improving, that helps you believe that you could actually improve yourself. Okay, I certainly felt that when I first started crawling out of depression and anxiety and being burnout many years ago. So hopefully you get something out of that as well. Okay, so this is the one that you've been waiting for, jerking off. So sex is probably a little bit too exhausting for you right now. Okay, you pretty much finish all the work that you have to do and you hit the pillow and you pass out. So even if you have a girlfriend or like your missus or whatever, she hasn't been seeing much action because you're just super freaking exhausted at the end of the day. The best way to go about this, because you're still trying to understand what's going on the inside, is start to connect with yourself. Start by jerking off in the nighttime. And I say at the nighttime because if you jerk off in the morning, that actually screws with your reward circuitry and you tend to be a little bit drowsy, or at least for me anyway. So try and get in the habit of like doing some self-love at the end of the day, each day, so that you can start to get your brain neurochemistry excited about just living again, okay? And there's a key point here, okay? Very, very key point. Do not watch porn. Do not watch porn, okay? Porn is just going to screw everything up for you, okay? I want to do a video series on porn, but that's sort of outside the scope of this video. So start jerking off at nighttime, go. So the next point is light exercises, okay? So I know this sort of seems a little bit counterproductive, being so exhausted, being burnt out, but studies show that if you do a little bit of light exercise, that's going to help you with depression, and it's going to start to restart your energy pathways. So Well, the key here is light exercise. Okay, so you probably don't want to probably want to avoid like heavy gym exercises or any sort of like competition sports right now, because your brain's all sort of in haywire. The best way to go about this is just sort of like go for a walk or go for a jog. Maybe do some light weights in the mornings to just sort of get used to how that feels again, and then sort of get a few little wins under your belt so that you can be like, oh, I went and ran for a run and I feel good about that. And I start to re-spark some of that self-esteem and self-confidence, and start to crawl yourself out of the mud. So if you got something out of this video, then hit that like button and subscribe, and also don't forget the bell notification, especially with this one, because the next one's going to be the third part of the video series that's going to be on some of the mindset things that you can do to actually get out of burnout. So I'd hate for you to miss out on that video. Now, like, what do we do from here? Okay, let's just say that you've been burnt out, okay, and you're starting to apply some of these things you're learning on the internet and you're reading through books, but you're not sure where to go from here. You know, you need a bit of a roadmap. You realize that you don't really want to go back to work anymore, and you don't really know what the future holds. You need to build a better understanding on who you are, your identity, and what excites you, so that you don't end up getting burnt out in the future. Maybe you're at a stage where you're considering getting a mentor for this to be able to help you with that sort of stuff. So if that's the case, then reach out to me on Instagram. You and I can actually get on a one-on-one discovery call and actually see if we're a good fit. And if we are a good fit, I'll help you with this identity loss. I'll help you with this sort of crawling out of burnout. And you can actually come out the other side in 12 weeks a completely changed man. But if you're not at that stage yet and you sort of like this sort of content, then just hit that like button and subscribe. Helps out the channel a great deal. And yeah, with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Dice out.